So we're out here in the blackberry patch, and by patch, you know I mean containers. And I want to show you something that I made a mistake on, and not the first time I've done it, and you don't need to do it. So I'm going to tell you why. You need to watch your blackberries, and just some good habits to practice, especially this time of year. So I came out here the other day, and a lot of these plants, the leaves on them were curled, were just evidently dry. I mean, demonstrably dry. And I thought, what in the world? And I realized I hadn't watered them, but we had gotten a bunch of rain, and I thought that would be, sufficient. So my point in this video, or one of my points in this video, I want to show you a few things, but don't think just because it's not summer, just because it's not hot, just because it's not in the middle of the growing season, that you don't need to water your blackberries. Even in the spring, early spring, you do need to water your blackberries if they're in containers. Now, if you're getting some rain, they're planted in the ground, you probably don't have to worry about that till summer. But man, I didn't lose anything that I can tell, but I put them under stress. I really did. The blackberries just were the leaves were definitely folded up, kind of, that's how you can tell. A leaf stands like this and all of a sudden it starts folding in on itself. It's trying to conserve some water, so that's a problem. But I have got a bumper crop of blackberries. These are all Primark Freedom blackberries. Some of them are starting to turn red, and that early redness, because they're not very big, and it could very well, they're going to get bigger, but I mean the early turning could have been due to my, my not watering them when I should. Again, I went about a week at least, and I just thought for sure that they had enough water from my last watering, or from the rain, or just from the fact that they're young, and they're young in their growing process this year, and just didn't need any help until summer. And when I think about it, I did the same thing last year too. I just didn't realize what they needed at the time. Boy, I do now, and I tell you what, I caught it just in time. So again, they look good. I want to show you some of these canes they're putting up. That cane is 4 feet tall. It's already past my trellis. That is a brand new Prima cane, this year's cane. It is April 15th, tax day, and that dude is already above my trellis. And that's not the only one. Here's another one just like it. I've got a bunch of new canes. One of the reasons I think they're growing well is because I came in here probably a month ago, I mean a good while ago. When they first started putting out blooms, I came in here to hit them with some 20-20-20, and I've showed you before, I do about 4 tablespoons, just enough to put in the center of your hand, and I do it in 3 or 4 places on that tub. When the plants are young, they're not so bushy, you can kind of dig down in there and plant, get your soil down in the ground, cover it up. Take a spoon, dig back a little bit, throw a tablespoon of fertilizer in there, cover it back up, and do that in, maybe here, or just do it in 3 places. At the very rim, because you don't want to put that fertilizer right on a cane, and there may be a place or two where a cane is coming up right where you want to put fertilizer. Well, kind of move over a little bit if you can. But put that 10-20-10 on it, and I think it's one reason these canes are doing so well, and why there's so dang many blackberries, because the middle number, and again, 10-20-10. Middle number is phosphorus. Middle number brings blooms. Phosphorus makes blooms, and blooms make berries. Same way with maters. Phosphorus makes blooms, blooms make maters. So don't forget that. If you've got something that blooms, and most everything does, corn doesn't, some of your greens, things like that. But the things that do bloom and fruit from a bloom really need that middle number, really need phosphorus. So again, let me just show you some of the berries. That little limb, 12-18 inches of limb, has 20-25 berries on it. There's another dozen, half a dozen, dozen. I mean, there's a dozen. Man, I have got blackberries everywhere. I really hope they get a little bigger, and they do. When they turn black, they definitely get bigger than they are when they're green. But I hope they get real big. I like the big blackberries. Some people don't, but I really do. And man, we're going to have a bumper crop this year. Now again, these are Primark Freedoms. Now my last tub here, I've showed you in the past, my last tub is what I believe to be, it was sent as a Freedom, but it's not. It's a Ouachita, I'm pretty sure. I've had a Ouachita before, and this same color blooms. The Primark Freedoms bloom is more of a white bloom. This is more of a, this is a pink bloom. And just the growing habit, the time that the blooms come out and everything, just leads me to believe this is a Ouachita. And I'm glad. At first I was kind of, dadgummit, I wanted all Primark Freedoms. But you know, I get some berries here, then I get some berries a little later, 2 or 3 weeks later, and then these start putting out their primocanes, and I get berries after the Ouachita. Then I get berries here from my primocane berries in the summer, later on in the summer. So I think it's a good deal. Let me take you over here and show you the Ponca blackberries. So these are my Poncas. They're at least 2 weeks later than the Primark Freedoms, if not 3, but at least 2 weeks later, it looks like. Most of them have already bloomed. I still got a lot in bloom, as you can see, but most of them have already bloomed, already got some berries making, and I got some that are still on bloom swell there. The bloom is just beginning to swell, right there. So yeah, there's different stages of bloom, and I sprayed these earlier, right before I started getting very many blooms. I sprayed them with some liquid cop, try to keep down my fungus and my disease, and hopefully that's going to help. Once they finish blooming, then I can come back and put liquid cop on them again to try to head off any summertime heat-related, humidity-related problems that we always have here in East Texas. Bees are all over them, pollinating, and that's a good thing because pollination is going to make you some big berries. Now you say, how in the world is that possible? Just need to pollinate one time, right? Well, no, let me show you what I'm talking about. Now I'm not a blackberryologist. I'm not a blackberryologist, but it is my understanding that each one of those little bumps on that blackberry, we call that a blackberry, but each one of these little bumps on that blackberry, which has a seed inside, each one of those little bumps has to be pollinated, if I understand right. I've done a lot of study on this, and if I understand correctly, each one of those little bumps have to be pollinated. So if you get a blackberry that doesn't have very many bumps, like that one, could very well be that one didn't get pollinated fully, and it'll make a blackberry, but it's not gonna make a big blackberry. Same here. Now that one that one may just still have some growing to do, but it's very possible that some of these didn't get pollinated well. We had a lot of wind, 20, 30 mile an hour winds. Bees don't really like to fly in the wind. So we had some problems there during the time when these were definitely bloomed out and needed some pollination. So that could be one of my problems there. Again, there's one right there that just doesn't, I think just did not get pollinated well. And then there's one right there that's about, even when it's green, is about 1 inch long, over 1 inch long, and that's going to be a monster there when it gets red and then black. It's going to turn out to be a really nice berry. But I just wanted to show you the berries. I want to show you my new growth, my primocane growth, but also I've got a lot of dead stuff too. Now this one has berries on it, not very well filled out, so those have either pollination issues or the fact that this cane looks like it's dying is an issue. But I do have some dead canes. I don't think it was from the lack of water. I don't think it was from a frost issue or a freeze issue like I had last year, because we really didn't have that. We had some cold weather, but it was when the plants were dormant, and I don't think that was the issue. But I hope your blackberries are doing as well as these are, because I'm really tickled at how these are doing. They're doing real well. And again, some of them are starting to turn red. I hope my lack of water issue did not push them to mature too quickly. And I don't think so. But I do have, again, got some dead stuff I need to trim out. This one's dead. Well, This one's dead almost all the way down, so that one just needs to probably come out all the way. We'll prune these out. I like to prune them out. It helps with disease. Also just looks better. I like the way they look when they're just all pretty and green and don't have any brown dead stuff. But anyway, hope your blackberries look this good. Let me know in the comments below what your blackberries look like and how they're doing. And let me just ask you a favor. I've got a new channel that I really need some subs on. You don't have to go there and watch any videos if you don't to, but if you could just go right up there in that corner right there and sub that channel, click on that and sub that channel, subscribe to it, then that would really help me out, build that channel up, and I would really appreciate if you could do that for me. So, blackberry, 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 we love them. And I think that's it. We're gone.